Have you ever been home alone at night and heard a creak from the other room?
Yeah, happens all the time.
You probably tell yourself it's just the house settling, right? But what if it wasn't the house?
Okay, where are you going with this?
What if it was someone inside the walls?
Chilling thought. Very chilling.
So in this deep dive, we're going to dissect a really disturbing case. We're pulling from local news reports, police files.
Right.
It's the story of 9-year-old Emily Rogers. She vanished during a blackout back in 2012 in Indiana.
I remember hearing about parts of this, but the details get fuzzy.
And then, years later, a new tenant in the house. He starts hearing things that nobody should ever hear.
Things in the walls.
Exactly. We're going to piece together this whole chilling puzzle, Emily's disappearance, the decade of silence, and then the horrifying discoveries that came later. So buckle up. The local news from July 2012, it paints this picture, right? Sweltering Indiana summer, record heat, then this massive thunderstorm hits, knocks out power everywhere in the neighborhood, a blackout. And it was during that blackout that Emily Rogers vanished, just 9 years old, from her bed. Her mom tucked her in around 9 p.m. The police report says the storm hit at 10:17 p.m. By 10:06 p.m., less than 10 minutes later, she was gone.
Just like that. No struggle, nothing.
No signs of struggle, no forced entry, no sounds reported, just vanished.
The speed of it. I mean, the initial files noted that. It's baffling. And the blackout.
Must have helped, right? Provided cover.
An opportunity.
Absolutely. It creates confusion, limits witnesses.
And the police, they did a massive search, combed the house, the neighborhood, interviews,
They did a procedure, yeah. But they found nothing. Zero. Well, almost nothing. There was this one detail, seemed insignificant then. It was mentioned in a follow-up article. A loose panel in Emily's closet.
A loose panel?
Yeah. Police checked behind it, just found insulation, so they moved on. Dead end.
Or so they thought. It's always those little details, isn't it? The things you dismiss.
Exactly. What looks normal can hide. Well, something awful. They probably just thought, oh, bad construction job.
Didn't realize how significant it would become.
Then, get this. A week after she disappeared, something really disturbing happened. It's in the mother's statement to the police.
Okay.
She got a voicemail. At first, just static, like pocket dial static. But then, underneath it, a faint whisper. 2 words.
What did it say?
Still here.
Whoa, okay, that's creepy.
Right, but the police, they were probably swamped with fake leads, cranks calling in.
Yeah, sadly common in these cases.
So they dismissed it, a cruel prank.
Yeah?
But listening now, knowing what we know, a prank or something else.
That whisper, even just 2 words, it's so unsettling. It changes everything, doesn't it? Maybe she wasn't taken out of the house.
Maybe she was still inside.
Somewhere. Looking back at the timeline now, that voicemail takes on a whole new, terrifying meaning.
Okay, so let's fast forward. 10 years, the Rogers house, it's finally sold.
10 years later, wow.
A guy named Tyler buys it, 27 years old, graphic designer. Just wanted, peace and quiet, an affordable place.
And the house had been on the market a while, right? I remember reading that. Well, because of the history.
Probably. So Tyler moves in, and he wouldn't have known, the full weight of what happened there.
No, you just focus on painting, unpacking, making it yours.
And according to his later statements, for a little while, it was perfect. But then the subtle stuff started. Soft tapping sounds. Always at night.
Okay.
And always seemed to come from inside the walls.
Oh, boy.
At first, he did what we all do, right? Rationalized it. Old house, pipes, mice. You know how it is.
Yeah, your brain tries to make it make sense.
Yeah.
Especially in your own home. You want it to be normal.
But the tapping, it started to follow him. If he was in the living room, he'd hear it in that wall. If he went to the bedroom.
It moved with him.
Yeah. Persistent. Almost. Like it knew he was there.
Okay, that's different. That's not just random house noises anymore. That suggests something deliberate. A presence.
It totally erodes that feeling of safety,
Absolutely.
And then it escalated big time. One night, Tyler puts his ear right against the closet wall where the panel was.
Yeah.
He heard crying.
Crying.
Like a child crying, sobbing from inside the wall.
Oh my God, no.
Imagine that. You're alone. You hear that coming from inside the structure of your house. What do you even think?
That sound.
Yeah.
A child crying.
Yeah.
Hits you right in the gut. It's an immediate alarm bell. Vulnerability, suffering. You can't ignore that.
Taylor didn't ignore it. He grabbed a flashlight, went straight to that loose panel in the closet.
The same one the police checked years ago.
The very same one. This time when he pressed it, he felt it give way more easily, heard a kind of hollow echo behind it.
Oh, man.
So he started tearing away the insulation, just ripping it out. And he found a crawl space.
Behind the closet wall.
Yeah. Narrow, pitch black, and freezing cold, even though it was summer outside.
That description. Confined, hidden cold. It just screams concealment, doesn't it? A place meant to be secret.
And inside, he found stuff. Scratched floorboards like someone had been pacing or trapped. Old dried up juice boxes.
Evidence of someone being there for a while.
And a child's drawing.
Oh no, what was
A
it?
stick figure behind bars.
Heartbreaking. That's direct evidence of captivity from a child's perspective.
Then he saw the camera.
A camera. Inside the crawl space.
Yeah, an old one. Wired, rusted, pointed right at a dirty mattress in the corner.
Surveillance. So whoever did this was watching. That adds a whole other layer of psychological horror.
That's when Tyler just backed out, freaked out, called 911.
I don't blame him. I would have done the same thing. Faster, probably.
So the police come back. This time, they do a much more thorough search of that crawl space.
Yeah.
They found something Tyler missed. Buried deep in the insulation, tiny, decayed, human teeth.
Teeth. Oh, God.
Forensics ran DNA, and the results were, well, unimaginable. They matched Emily Rogers.
So she was in there all along?
Yeah, she'd been inside the house the entire time. The whispers, the taps, the crying, it was all real.
It confirms the absolute worst fears. A decade-long nightmare hidden right there.
But here's the thing. Emily's body, it wasn't there.
Wait, what? Just the teeth?
Just evidence she'd have been kept there for years. But she wasn't there now, so where did she go?
So the investigation completely shifts gear, right? From a cold case disappearance to abduction, long-term confinement.
Yeah.
And now what? Where is she?
Exactly. The police expanded their search. That crawl space, it turned out, led up into the attic.
Oh.
And hidden up there in the rafters, they found dozens of VHS tapes.
VHS tapes, wow. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, like stepping back in time, right?
Yeah.
Each one labeled with dates,
Yeah.
spanning years. It's just meticulous recording. Planning. And using VHS. Maybe trying to stay off the digital grid, Harder to trace.
The content on those tapes, police reports described it as sickening. It showed a child, Emily, gone, dirty,
Oh, God.
talking to someone behind the camera, someone she called uncle.
Uncle? Not her actual uncle, I assume.
No. Investigators managed to match the voice on the tapes to a former tenant from way back in 2012.
A tenant. In the same house?
Yeah, a handyman. Lived in the basement apartment. Apparently the Rogers family barely noticed him. He moved out right after Emily vanished.
Unbelievable. Hiding in plain sight. That breach of trust, living right there under their roof.
But he never faced justice. Died in 2019. Heart attack. No arrest, no confession, nothing.
So he took his secrets with him.
He did. But the final, just jaw-dropping piece of this puzzle came from the very last tape they found.
Yeah.
It was dated just 1 week before Tyler moved into the house.
No way.
And it showed Emily. She looked almost 19 years old. And she was alive.
Alive.
Oh.
After all that time. On a tape made just before Tyler moved in.
Alive.
It's a relief she survived that long, but it's also deeply, deeply unsettling. Where did she go after that tape?
Exactly. The case blew wide open again. Police started analyzing every frame of those tapes, looking for any clue, anything.
What's the theory? Did she escape? Was she let go?
That's the police theory, yeah. Escape or release. But did she survive out there? Nobody knows for sure. Tips started flooding in again, of course.
Sightings.
Yeah, Ohio, Kansas, you name it. But nothing concrete, nothing ever confirmed.
It's so hard to find someone who might be deliberately hiding or maybe too traumatized to even know who they are anymore.
They even sent out DNA kits, trying to identify Jane Does across 3 states. Still nothing, no matches.
That vanished again.
And then just about a month before we recorded this deep dive, Tyler gets another voicemail.
No, not again.
Yep. Same static, same faint, chilling voice.
What did it say this time?
2 words again. Thank you.
Thank you. Ooh. Emily. Thanking him for what? Finding the room? Or is it someone else?
We have no idea. It just throws another layer of just weirdness and unease onto everything. Is she out there, aware, grateful, or is this something darker?
So many questions.
Think about it, right? Why didn't she scream all those years? I mean, surely someone would have heard eventually.
Maybe she couldn't. Maybe she was threatened. Or controlled. Groomed, even.
Why wasn't she killed? Keeping someone hidden like that for so long, the risk seems immense.
Was it control? Possession? Something even darker. We just don't know what was going on in that man's head. Or in that hidden room.
How did no one in the house notice anything? Over 10 years. Seems impossible.
People hear things. Maybe dismiss them. Or maybe the soundproofing was better than they thought. Or maybe he was just incredibly careful.
And the biggest question, the one that just hangs over everything, where is she now?
Is she alive? Did she manage to build some kind of life? Or is she still lost?
She could be out there, living among us, traumatized, maybe unable to reconnect, unseen.
Ooh, maybe.
Maybe she's listening to this right now.
That's a chilling thought.
If you were her, what would you do? Would you come forward, try to reclaim your past, or would you just stay hidden, stay in the shadows forever?
The psychological damage, it's unimaginable. There's no easy answer to what someone would do in that situation.
The house, the Rogers house, it's gone now. They demolished it last year, wiped it off the map.
That's probably for the best. Too much horror soaked into those walls.
But Tyler, he still gets those voicemails occasionally.
Still, even after the house is gone.
Yeah. Sometimes he says the whisper sounds like laughter. Sometimes, like crying.
So we still don't know. Is Emily alive? Did she make those calls?
Yeah.
Or is someone else being held somewhere else? Their cries now echoing down a phone line instead of through a wall.
We just don't have the answers. It's a complete unknown.
A terrifying one.
So next time you're home, maybe late at night, and you hear a sound, a little scratch, a tap, coming from behind your wall.
Check twice.
Yeah, check twice, because not every missing person actually leaves the house.